Well, yesterday I finally took the time to get some of this garden put in. And I got about 3/4 done. Yeah, needs no help. But when I was working out here, I saw a lot of gophers and a lot of rabbits. So I have to do some real serious fencing, because my garden fence at the moment is just this, regular barbed wire fence with woven wire on the lower part, but that woven wire isn't big enough to hold out them kind of pests. That normally keeps the dogs out. Is really what it's for. But I got a lot done yesterday. But I have some amazingly good soil. It's a sandy loam that holds moisture well and tills up really well. I can dig it with that tiller, just bury it, the tiller. It's amazing, really, how nice this is. I know my mom was watching a video one time, and she was comparing it to the dirt we had at home, which had more clay in it that would get hard as a rock. This stuff is just a delight to work with. But what I was going to talk about, other than the garden, which I know, down Jake, is going to be a problem, with critters. I'm going to have to do like a 24-inch chicken wire or something in that order all the way around to keep them out. I was running the lawnmower a while yesterday, and it was like herding rabbits. There's just way too many rabbits around. But I like to see them, so I just got to keep them out of the garden, where I'm sure they're going to be raiding a lot of stuff. But I was going to bring up, I had an email on a Gmail account from somebody who has been watching for quite a while, has been a subscriber, and as far as I know, has never made a bad comment, yet he seems to be under the impression that he's blocked. I don't quite understand. Like he asked to be let back on when, as far as I know, he's not gone. I think sometimes people, sometimes the comments don't show up on the video, and they jump to the conclusion that they're blocked. Well, the way YouTube is set up, sometimes a lot of times, comments never end up on a video because they go into the spam folder. Now, I don't know it when that happens unless I go back to the video, and I tell you, I seldom go back to those videos. I don't look to see if there's something in the spam folder. Usually when I'm done with a video, I'm just done with it. So, the odds aren't blocked, though I'll have to say I have blocked a lot of people, but with just reason. You kind of got to keep, there's a responsibility when you get people commenting who are like starting arguments and that sort of thing. I just clean them out and I'm just done with them. I'm sure I do at least a couple of them a week. I've got to have hundreds of people blocked. But, like I say, this guy, it's news to me. As far as I know, he isn't blocked. But there's a good chance that something could end up in that spam folder. Because I've had people who have been viewers for a long time, and they make a comment, and it'll catch my attention because it never turns up on the video, and then I'll go and look, and sure enough, for some reason, it got stuck in that spam folder. I don't know what triggers that, but, that's what happens. Sometimes I'll go back, and like in that situation, and review the comments so that I can turn that one loose out of the spam folder. But if I don't actually know that it's in there, it just never appears. But there ain't a lot I can do about that. That's one of the quirks of YouTube. But as far as I know, this guy is not not blocked. Though, like I say, I've got plenty of people I blocked, and I will continue to block people. But it's usually if people are making stupid comments or just trying to make trouble, kind of. Them I get rid of. It's a kind of responsibility. It just keeps the channel cleaner, let's say. Because some people they're just looking for an argument. And they don't know how to argue, kind of. I mean, you can get into a disagreement with somebody, but you have to do it in a civil way. Would you immediately jump on and say, oh, you're a goddamn stupid idiot? Well, you're just going to be gone, because there's no coming back from that. There's no smoothing that over and saying, oh, just a misunderstanding. If you do it like that, you're just gone. Like when he was evidently wanted me to unblock him. Honestly, I have no idea how to unblock somebody. If somebody's blocked to me, they're dead to the world. I have no idea even how to go about that. But, like I say, I don't think he's unblocked, but he is. I don't think he's blocked. But I think people sometimes jump to that conclusion when their videos, their comments don't show up on a video. But that's just one of them things of YouTube and the spam folder.